Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rain Man, and this is gonna be my video on how I became a Juggalo. Now, I wanted to do this video sometime, but I didn't have the time, so I thought now could be the best time. And if you seen my video called "How'd You Get Your Nickname," it relates to a lot about this video. Like you can see a lot of similarities. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I've named it "How I Became a Juggalo," not realized because I hear a lot of people say that they're a juggler or juggalette at birth, and to me that's kind of bullshit because it's like them saying they were swimming inside their dad's ball sack, bumping into each and every other sperm, saying I'm a juggler." I just take that kind of bullshit. So how I became a juggler. So yeah, here's the story. If y'all know, okay, so before third grade, life was all great. I mean, Fridays were awesome. I had straight A's at school. Best part, I was skinny. My brother's with me in elementary school. Life couldn't be perfect or better. It couldn't be great. And I started getting straight A's. It was all straight A's. Until third grade came, I got skinny. My brother went to middle school. I started getting B's and C's, partially D's. Let's see, I was getting fat and I was getting picked on. And I remember 11 years ago, it was a horrible day. I could remember that horrible day that turned really good at the end. I woke up late. I went to school, and what you may call it, I got yelled at my teacher in front of everyone, so that was quite embarrassing. I got two demerits. One was for being tardy. One was for not listening to her. And then people were picking on me, calling me the fourth little piggy. And it kind of hurt my feelings. I wanted to cry, but then I didn't want to. Last schedule we had was PE, so we were all playing. I had my basketball. I was playing. I was shooting hoops, and then they stole my ball. They're like, "Thanks, little piggy," oink oink oink, or shit like that. I'm all like, "Man," and I wanted to cry. And then before the bell rang, they're like, "Here, little piggy." They threw it at my stomach, and it knocked my air out. I wanted to cry, but I just like held it in. I was like, like that. I mean, if you have that feeling of having your air knocked out, that's a sucky ass feeling. You don't want to have that feeling ever. And then what else happened? Oh yeah, and then we all went up to the front because in the front that's where our parents pick us up, or that's where we just walk to our houses. And then my cousin Gerard, his real name is Gerardo, but I call him Gerard because it's much more easier. He came inside a white 1998 Honda, I believe. Honda Civic. I'm not sure. Um, the best thing I liked about that car was when you get inside of it, it smells like pineapple. I love pineapple. I love the smell of it. I don't know why, but it's just fucking awesome. And he was all like, "Hey Jess, your mom told me she was gonna work double, so she told me to pick you up so you can hang out with your cousins." I was like, "Okay." So I went inside his car, and right when I got in, I looked outside the window like this, like with my head down like this, because if I was gonna cry, I didn't want him to see it. And then yeah, we were listening to Pantera, Cowboys from Hell and Walk. And then he took out the CD, I mean not the CD, the cassette. My bad. He took out the cassette. He put another cassette, and then the first thing I've heard out of that cassette was the beginning of "Pass Me By." I don't know why, but out of that whole song, the beat to the song, it got to me. How you know how the song is all sad, but then it gets all lifted up to happiness or some shit like that. It kind of did that to me. Like call me crazy, but it was like it was talking to me. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it just rose my emotion from depressed to feeling happy. Then I asked him like, "Hey Gerard, who sings this?" It's like Insane Clown Posse. Have you ever heard of them? I'm like, nah. He's like, "Oh, have you ever heard of ICP?" I'm like, nah. He's like, "Oh well, there's these two dudes that are from Detroit, and they wear clown paint and they rap about murder and all that." I'm like, "Oh really? Wow, that sounds pretty cool." He's like, "Yeah," and then he's all telling me about the Juggalo concept, the Juggalo family concept, the Joker cards, and all that other stuff. Of course, he didn't teach me all that in one day. I did not get it all in one day. It took some time. And then in the cassette, we were listening to "Pass Me By," "How Many Times," um, Halls of Illusions, Southwest Voodoo, and there was just one more I forgot. May not have been inside the Malenko album. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was a pretty good song. I had to check that out though. And then yeah, and then he was telling me about the Joker cards and all that. And then right before we got out, he was like, "So yeah, I thought I put on the song just to cheer you up. You know, I mean, I know you're sad. Why are you sad?" I'm like, "Well, there was these kids at school. They were picking on me and calling me fat." He's like, "Well, are you fat?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Then what's the problem?" I'm like, "I don't like to be called fat. You know, I don't like being fat." Like, hey, it's your choice. You got fat. Be proud of who you are. Being fat is not all bad. You know. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you are fat. Hell, I'm fat too, but you know, I'm proud of it." I'm like, "Yeah, I know what you're saying." And he was trying to teach me. He was trying to teach me that mentality of not giving a fuck what people say about me, and it took some time just to get it in me. So yeah, and then I asked him like, "Hey, do you think you could copy a cassette for me so I could take home and listen?" He's like, "Sure, what would you like?" And he said the Ringmaster because he didn't have the Carnival Carnage, Jekyll Brothers, Riddlebox, Malenko, Tunnel of Love, and shit like that. Now the Wraith didn't come out because the year was 2000, I believe, 2000, and it didn't come out to 2002. So you know, so I said the Riddlebox and Malenko, and the Juggle Brothers. So he copied those on a cassette for me, and then it was pretty cool. I listened to the songs for a very long time. They only lasted for like 2 months because you know how cassettes are. They get the tape eaten. It sucked, but oh well. And when I got to school, I hopped on a computer. I tried to research about ICP, about their music and shit like that. And there was some stuff I couldn't see because it was blocked by CCISD. Like if we go on like naked chicks or something like that, it says it's been blocked by CCISD. And it sucked, but and yeah, that's the day that I started repping the hat shit. It took some time, but then I actually got it in me, and you know that's how I started repping ever since then. But yeah, this is my story. What's your story? How y'all became a juggalo or juggalette? And what was the first song you heard? Video responses or comments would do. And yeah, so peace and much clown love, y'all.